Look at your hands, the friction ridges on your fingertips, the curve of your opposable thumb. Right now, those fingers are resting on a piece of glass, a pocket-sized supercomputer, connected to an invisible web that spans the entire globe. To you, this is just a normal Tuesday. It is modern life, but to the universe, this is a terrifying anomaly. Because biologically, you are still an ape. Your heart pumps blood using the exact same valve mechanics as a chimpanzee. Your liver processes nutrients using the exact same chemistry as a lemur. Your amygdala scans your living room using the exact same fear parameters it used on the African savanna a million years ago. You are entirely, irrevocably an animal, and yet you don't live like one. An animal adapts its body to the environment. If the world gets cold, it grows thicker fur over 10,000 generations. But we adapt the environment to our bodies. If the world gets cold, we burn a forest. We build a brick wall. We broke the rules. To understand how we broke the rules, we have to look at what the rules actually are. For 3.5 billion years, life on Earth operated within a closed loop, a perfect, brutal mathematical equation. An animal experiences a physical stimulus, hunger. That stimulus triggers an immediate reaction. It hunts. The reaction produces a consequence. It eats, or it gets eaten. The consequence then informs the next stimulus. There is no past in this loop. There is no future. There is only the crushing weight of the absolute present. If a wolf kills a deer, it does not feel guilt. It does not wonder if the deer's children will survive the winter. It does not plan to build a refrigerator to store the leftovers for next month. It cannot think about next month. Because next month does not exist in nature. This loop is elegant. It keeps the planet in perfect equilibrium. No species can overeat, because if they do, their prey dies out, and then they starve. Nature holds every creature in a biological straitjacket, and, for a very long time, humans wore that same straitjacket. 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens were firmly in the middle of the food chain. We were not apex predators. We were glorified baboons, scurrying in the brush, terrified of the dark. If a saber-toothed cat roared, our ancestors ran. They reacted to the stimulus. They were part of the loop. They didn't look at the cat and think about its structural biology. They didn't map out its hunting territory on a piece of bark. They were simply animals among other animals, equal under the law of the jungle. And then something went wrong. Somewhere between 70,000 and 50,000 years ago, the human brain suffered a profound, irreversible neurological mutation. We don't know the exact day it happened, but we know what it did. It shattered the loop forever. What changed wasn't our muscles, our teeth, or our speed. What changed was our relationship with things that are not there. Anthropologists call this the cognitive revolution. Every other animal can communicate about physical reality. A green monkey can give a specific vocal cry that means, "Look out, an eagle." The other monkeys look up. They see the eagle. They react to the reality. But a human being can do something impossible. A human can walk back to the tribe and say, "The eagle is the guardian spirit of our ancestors, and if we paint its wings on our chests, we will be protected." The spirit isn't there. There is no magic in the paint. The entire statement is a lie. It is fiction. But if 100 humans believe that fiction, something magical happens. They suddenly share a common bond. They trust each other. A pack of wolves can only cooperate with wolves they know personally through smell and dominance. Their groups top out at 30. But humans? Because we could believe in a shared myth, a god, a tribe, a flag, we could cooperate by the thousands. Strangers who had never met could stand shoulder to shoulder and fight for an idea. This was the day we stopped being animals. The day we realized we could use words to build a parallel reality. Think about a pitfall trap. To build a trap for a mammoth, an ancient human had to dig a massive hole in the dirt, cover it with fragile branches, and camouflage it with grass. To do that, the human brain had to imagine an event that had not happened yet. It had to look at an empty piece of ground and see a dead mammoth. This is mental time travel. The moment we could manipulate the future in our heads, we stopped reacting to nature. We began outsmarting it. We stopped looking for shelter and started designing it. We stopped following the migration paths and started altering them. We stepped out of the ecosystem and looked down at it. Within a few thousand years of this mental shift, humans left Africa, and wherever we landed, the old world evaporated. The giant marsupials of Australia, the mammoths of Siberia, the ground sloths of America, all wiped out. They had evolved to fear large teeth and sharp claws. They had not evolved to fear an ape armed with an invisible story. But breaking out of the prison of nature came with a price. When you step out of a system that has supported you for millions of years, you have to build your own system to replace it. And our new system was built entirely out of thought. Look around you right now. The concept of a mortgage, the corporate hierarchy, the borders of a country, the digital numbers in your bank account. None of these things exist in the real world. If all humans died tomorrow, the trees would still grow. The oceans would still have tides. But the concept of debt would vanish instantly because it is not real. It is an artifact of the story we started telling 70,000 years ago. The great paradox of the modern human is that we have become completely trapped by our own inventions. An animal can only suffer from real things: cold, hunger, pain, physical danger, but a human being can lie in a soft bed in a climate-controlled room with a full stomach and feel an overwhelming sense of existential dread. We suffer because of our status, because of our identity, because of our metrics. We suffer because our imaginary story isn't going the way we wanted it to. We are the only creatures on Earth that can experience a physical stress response, an ulcer, a panic attack, a stroke, purely because of a thought. We escape the predators of the wild, only to build a world where we are hunted by our own concepts. We are running an ancient biological body inside a simulation we forgot we programmed. Deep inside you, the animal is still there. It speaks to you when you look at a roaring fire and feel a sudden, deep sense of peace. It speaks to you when you look at an open horizon and feel your chest loosen. It is the part of you that doesn't care about your resume, your savings account, or your unread notifications. It just wants to be alive, to feel the air, to exist in the loop. We spent 70,000 years trying to prove we were something more than beasts. We conquered the planet to prove it. But maybe the real tragedy of the human condition is that we succeeded.